Steve Cohen needs to today, like now, when he wakes up and sells his stocks or whatever it is that he's doing, when he gets a free time on his lunch break, he needs to reach out to Boras and Soto and say, here is my best and final offer. You've got an hour to sign it.
We're going hardball.
Maybe I'll go half hour. How you like that, Juan? How you like me now? Hey, act like a king. Put the offer out there, best and final, no playing around. Now, whatever that is, I'm not going to tell him, he might need to be at 700 or 720 or 750, whatever the number is going to be that he feels comfortable with going into the clubhouse with. But put it out there now and say, if you don't take this offer in an hour, whatever the time frame is, by the end of the day, it's off the table. Enough's enough. The Mets cannot get played again by Juan Soto.
I sense a little angst today from my partner.
I'm getting nervous. We're getting down to it. It's going to happen.
My friend, as you should be. Now, listen, I presented a couple of different paths here for the Yankees where, as much as I want Juan Soto, and I do now believe that he's going to be signed by the Yankees. I think he wants to be a Yankee. I think that Boras has orchestrated this very well. And as long as the business side matches up, I do think that he's going to be a Yankee. But I've also given you other reasons and other avenues how I think that the Yankees could build a better team, maybe a more whole team, a more effective team, if they were to take that money and disperse it in three or four different directions. However, this is a very interesting pivot point because now all the belief in Cohen has been about the almighty, the hammer, the money, the juice, the checkbook. And you're telling me today that it's flex time. And I think that you're right because this thing we're inside the tight red. We're not at the 19. We're at about the 9 or the 8-yard line here. We're getting there.
I mean, Passan said yesterday by the weekend.
He did say that. He said that by the weekend.
Martino said before the winter meeting. So, I mean, now you're down to 3-4 days here.
Yeah, and if you think about this logically, just from a PR perspective, like if Soto's my client and the report is by Passan was obviously very piped in, I'm not going to drop this on an NFL Sunday. I'm going to probably go on a fairly quiet college football Saturday or Friday. And Friday's generally a bit of a news dump, so I don't know if I do it there. Listen, the more I think about this, I think it's going to happen Saturday. I think he's going to be a Yankee. But I like your approach here. Like, if you think that you're getting played or you think that his heart's truly with the Yankees, you cannot let this go another minute before making Boras, see this ridiculous number and giving Juan Soto pause to what he might do.
Yeah, and
what he seems inclined to do, actually.
Even if it's risking losing him, because if the reports are true, and Feinstein's a reputable reporter.
He's good. I like Mark. Yep.
So if he's saying that the thought is the Yankees are going to have the last licks on this, the right to match or beat it, well, to me, that's, if I'm the Mets and I see that, I say that's nonsense here. You know what the offers are. You know what the teams are. Here's my best and final. And I'm not playing this out to where you're going to now take this and go run to the Yankees and say you have to go match it up over the course of the weekend. No, right now, this is the mood I'm in. I want the player. Do you want the most money or not? Because I'm not playing this game anymore. It's a game that the Mets now are in danger, BT, of losing yet again because they have the richest owner in the sport, and he is a target, whether we like it or not. Yamamoto played him, used him to get the 225.
Played the Yankees too.
Okay, but but to the Yankees' credit, they drew their line in the sand at $300 million. They said, "Look, we'll give you the most AAV."
Yeah, they did.
$300 our total. That's it. You don't like it, and they got the sense that, you know what, this guy really doesn't want to be here. If he wanted to be a Yankee, maybe he'd take the highest AAV. Whatever it was, they drew their line at $300, which they thought was ridiculous. The Mets went up to even $325 and said, all right, fine. This is what you want. We'll give you that. And then Yamamoto, what's he do? He gets the same amount, but he goes to the team he really wants, or to the Dodgers. That can't happen here with the Mets. I want the Yankees to get him. If they get him at a discount, I don't want it to be because at $720, I'm just throwing numbers out there.
Sure.
At $720 because Steve Cohen said he'll go to $725, and the Yankees say, all right, we'll come up and match that. That's ridiculous. Then Soto wins all around, and both New York teams kind of get screwed in a way. I don't want that to happen. Steve Cohen needs to go out there, draw the line in the sand now with his best and final, and he takes back the power from Scott Boras. Take it or leave it, because we got other business to attend to.
I've got a direct question for you, but before I do that, I've got to deliver a couple of words here to my brethren. Okay? You hear that voice today? Voice is usually confident. Voices like myself, almost always loud. Sal's vulnerable today. He's vulnerable. So what I call, it's a call to arms for all the great Yankee fans to attack him today. To go at him in a fun way, but in a way that he will feel, because this is the first time in over a year that he knows he ain't getting Soto.
No. See, that's where you're now crossing the line. I still believe the Mets are getting him.
Do you really?
Yeah, because we'll have the same argument, right? And it comes back to the same thing. Ultimately, even if the Yankees have the right to match, if the Mets make the right offer, and that's why I'm saying Cohen needs to give his final and best now.
And that was my question.
Right.
What's the number? I know that you don't really know, but the Yankees were 550, automatically went to 6. I would guess right now they're 615, 620. What number do you drop with Cohen today?
If I'm Cohen, I say I'll give you 715. That's $15 million more than Ohtani got total. Well, BT,
no, I get it. It could be effective.
I got to be comfortable going into the clubhouse saying I basically did all I could do. 701, 702. That might not be enough. I'm leaving no doubt. So I'm going to go to 715 and bet that nobody else is going to come close to that. Mm-hmm. And then you could give the Yankees your you could go talk to them, whatever, but I need a decision now, like within the next 5 hours by 5 p.m., but however he wants to put it. Yeah. Here's my offer. But it's not to be like played out through the course of the weekend.
I like the approach. I do. I like the approach. It's bold. It's very bold. It's a little unconventional in the sense where, you know, the Mets and really the Yankees don't have the absolute hammer until he resigns. I mean, it's kind of a guessing game, so you gotta placate him a little bit. I don't know. Would they be turned off by that?
Sure, screw him. If that's the case, screw him.
I get that.
So then, and think about this. So like to get to the point where I still think he is going to go to the Mets, and I've come this far. I might as well just ride this out here. Although, like I said, I do think Soto ultimately wants to be a Yankee, but it was never about whether he wanted to be a Yankee or not. It was about how much is he going to leave on the table to stay with the Yankees.
Correct.
So let's just say in my scenario, Cohen says 715, take it or leave it. Mm-hmm. Where do you think the Yankees get up to in that scenario?
I think now, okay, you have to tell me where you think they are now, and then I'll give you an exact number relating to 715.
I think they're at 6.
All right, I think they might be slightly higher than that, but let's just say 6. So if Cohen blows them out with a $115 million offer north of that,
Yankees maybe say they come up to 650?
I think the Yankees would absolutely have to jump to 650 if he's got 715 on the table.
And now we're talking about...
And by the way, at that point, now the Yankees can say, hey, you really want us?
Yeah.
Now we're done.
Bingo. Okay,
Cohen made his move. These are our cards.
Agreed. I love that point, too. Whatever the Yankees line in the sand is, they should say the same thing. Oh, all right, we want the right to match, but they don't maybe have to because they could look at the offer and say, well, 700, we're not going there. That's just ridiculous. So
do you think they'd say that?
I do.
I don't think the Yankees would say that?
Yeah, I don't think the Yankees are getting up to $700 million, which is why...
by the way, I don't either, and I don't think that they should.
So then the question...
I don't think that they have to.
They might not, but then the question comes, all right, is he going to leave that in this hypothetical $45 million on the table? I don't think he will.
We're going to get these calls. I would just like to describe what my friend Sal is wearing today.
I wore the Christmas jacket that you got me last year.
The white satin Mets jacket.
You bullied me into wearing it.
With the dusty 86 World Series patch.
You bullied me into it. It is a really nice jacket. I got a compliment at the parking lot this morning.
Little Mets hoodie. Boy, wouldn't that be?
I told you I was going to wear it anyway.
This would be serendipitous if we got the news today.
If that's the case, I'm taking all this stuff off and throwing it in the garbage.
Sal's a little rattled.
BT and Sal.
You are rattled, man. I know you're sticking firm. Okay, I needed to hear that. There you go. I needed to hear that.
Our friends at Town Fair Tire remind you that at Town Fair Tire, you always get the guaranteed lowest price on name brand tires from Connecticut to Maine. Nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody. Tony's in the Bronx. What's up, Tony?
What's up, guys? Good morning.
Tony.
Hey, it's good to hear you guys. You guys got the greatest sports show in the country now. Never mind New York. So, listen, I got to tell you, I told you from the beginning, Soto was going to re-sign with us. Unfortunately, what breaks my heart is this. After Hal signs them, right, and then what are we going to do? We're going to go keep the rest of the way. We got first base, third base, and left field to go ahead and cover, right? And
yep.
You were right on the money a couple of weeks ago. He's going to go ahead and spring for Soto. He's going to come back. And I said, unfortunately, because it's bittersweet, him signing with us, re-signing with us. What else we're going to do? I mean, we need to fill these positions, and we need good players out there.
Tone, okay. The one thing, Tone, as much as the arrow is beginning to tilt in the direction slightly more so for the Yankees' favor, let's not be overly presumptuous here, buddy. And, let's not just jump to the next level. It's a fair discussion point, and it's one that we've had many times. But while I think that this is the first time that I've really, really, truly thought for sure he's going to stay with the Yankees, until we get that news, he's not a Yankee.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And while I may be nervous, and it's like, you know how if you have to go to the bathroom really badly, like whatever it may be, an
One or
emergency
two.
situation, either one.
Okay.
But you have to go really badly. You've been holding it, and like you hold it, you're okay. And then the closer you get to the destination, the harder it becomes.
Yeah.
Well,
It's almost like this magical force field, like because you know you're closer to the bathroom. Yeah.
Right. Well, that's how I am right now.
Ooh.
I'm close to
You
the
need
potty.
some diapers?
Well, maybe. I mean, who knows? They told me at 2 p.m., but Soto's right here. Like, we're days away.
We might be hours away, Sal. We keep saying days. We don't know.
Maximum days away. I'm getting, might need a diaper soon. I mean, that's where we're at. But it does not mean that I believe he's going to the Yankees. It just means that we're getting down to it. And I do think that there's a part of, like, when you start hearing the stuff of the Red Sox and Mets, we were out in front of this, and then you hear, well, the Yankees are going to have the final offer. What does that tell you? I mean, if any team has the final chance to match, that would mean that the player would like to stay there.
Correct.
If all things are equal.
He's doing everything to line it up so that the decision's easy.
Which is not news.
No.
Like, so for Soto, the decision would be easy if the Yankees said, we'll match the highest offer, end of story. But odds are, and this is why I was saying from the beginning, I think he's going to be met, they're not going to match the highest offer. Now, to Tony's point, like when they don't, if they do, whatever, worry about that after the fact. It shouldn't just be Soto for either New York team. And I don't think it will be, but that's another conversation. Right now, it's about where is he going to go? And for me, I still think it's going to be the most money, but I would just try to prevent getting played here as we get down to it and say, look, this is the best and final. I'm not playing these games anymore. That's it. Either take it or leave it.
But what if Cohen doesn't do that? Like if he doesn't take your advice
and they get played and he stays with the Yanks?
Do you still feel as confident that he winds up with the Mets? Because to me, this seems like a bit of a Hail Mary, which I get.
Yeah, I do, but I think it's just there's no need for me, if I'm Cohen, to drag this out. Now, again, I don't know all the details. Maybe the Mets do have their best and final offer on the table. But when you start hearing things like the Yankees will have a chance to match, I also think that could be a signal to, like, whoever could be leaking that. Boras, let's just say, is leaking that to get the other teams up even higher.
Go nuts, and then the Yankees will match or they won't, and we'll win either way.
Well, the Yankees get the final chance, so we're going to need your whatever. But it is what it is. If I'm Cohen, I'm saying here's my offer, take it or leave it. Otherwise, I'm moving on. Charlie is in Bethpage. What's up, Charlie? And then hold on one second, Charlie. And then if he does leave it, like you said, it's a conversation for a different day, but then I'm going ham. And I don't mean, we'll bring Pete back. No. I mean ham. If no Soto, then it's everybody else. Everybody else. But we'll deal with that when that happens. I am getting nervous. Charlie's in Bethpage. What's up, Charlie?
Hello, Charles.
Good morning, BT and Sal. Listen, after this Jet season, the only thing I'm hoping for, we've been talking about Santa Claus all week. I'm hoping Santa Cohen delivers Juan Soto under my Christmas tree, because that's the only thing I can look forward to right now. He's been talking up a game, Cohen. Now it's time to deliver. Put the offer out there, blow everybody away. I'm getting tired of the Boras games. This is all Boras stuff. Boras screwed up last year with his clients. He's making it up, doing it the right way this year.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a different playbook, Charlie.
Sorry, Charlie, and thank you for the call. Yeah, I mean, look, I think Met fans and Yankee fans both want Juan Soto for Christmas. Only one fan base is going to be able to get him. And this is the guy, and maybe that's why I'm getting nervous today, BT, as we get down to it, knowing that it's happening in a matter of days here, if not, hours, like you said. Who knows when it, in fact, is going to come down, but the expectation is before Monday. I mean, you do the math. It's already Thursday, and this has been a year-long thing, maybe even a multiple-year thing where Cohen has eyed Soto and his free agency back. Like, if he doesn't land this big fish now, this is it. Like,
it's the biggest fish. It's the trophy fish. This is, you need multiple gaffes to reel this guy in. It's a fishing analogy, but it's true. He's 26, and listen, I pointed out some inconsistencies in his game, and I've always said I really want Juan Soto. I take issue with the generational tag, whatever. I've discussed it. I'm not going to really get back into that now. I mean, Juan Soto in the 2 spot with Aaron Judge is Ruth and Garrick, and I'd love to see that for however many more years are in Aaron Judge's prime. But you can probably go back to, if he does not go to the Mets, you can probably go back to the Mets' decision not to pursue him at a trade.
Yeah.
You can go back to that and say...
It's not even their decision not to. Like, could they have even gotten him? The organization...
But they didn't try.
Yeah, well, yes, that is true. But because they had no farm system to begin with, whether they could have gotten him or not, it's either because they didn't have enough to get him or they didn't have enough to justify giving it all for a player in 1 year.
Based on where they were and what would he really do? True. But, I mean, think about, let's go back. Actually, I think it was today. Didn't the Yankees acquire him today? Or I believe the day was I think it was tomorrow, maybe the 6th, whatever. I'm getting mixed up. The day, everything's a blur at this point. Within the next couple of days, Juan Soto 1 year ago was acquired by the Yankees. Now, go back to 1 year ago. Mauricio was highly thought of. Brett Beatty was highly thought of. Like, those Met Farm products were still highly thought of. Now, Vientos, ironically, was probably the least valued of all of them, and he's the best one.
Yeah, thank God.
And I don't want to take this down a trap door, but if the Mets don't get him and the Yankees do, the Yankees' decision to get him into their facilities a year early will have paid massive dividends.
1,000%. Ray is in Babylon. What's up, Ray?
Hey, Ray.
The most celebrated team in any sports franchise is the New York Yankees. I was in Kenya last year in the hinterland in the middle of nowhere. The Masai Mara came out with Yankee hats. This is a historic moment. This is about Ruth, Gehrig, Mantle, Jackson, Reggie Jackson. You were talking about what Steinbrenner would do. What would the New York Yankees do? Go through the historical timeline of the New York Yankees. They had all the greatest players because great teams do great things. It's a done deal. Juan Soto's a Yankee.
There you go, Ray. And thank you for the call.
Spiking it in the end zone.
There we go. Yankee fans started to feel their oats a little bit. Ooh, baby.
I'm not going that far. Like, I'm not going to get arrogant. Like, I'll have a little fun with if he does. And I do believe he will. I'm not counting it yet. They're not in the end zone.
You familiar with Ali Foreman?
Of course.
A little rope-a-dope?
Yeah, a little. That's why my hands are still up. You know, I'm prepared just in case.
Oh, baby.
I'm not falling for that.
Boom. Soto to the Mets on Saturday. Oh, baby. All right, BT and Sal, the fan, will continue with the calls. I have actually a special announcement that I got to make for the show at 11 a.m. You don't even know about this. Hoff doesn't know about this. Yeah, a fun little announcement for the show.
All right, look forward to it.
We'll do that coming up at 11 o'clock.
Okay.
It's a two-part fun announcement at 11 o'clock.
All right.
I'm
interested. I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
A little worried.
We'll get no,
this guy.
No, nothing to be worried about.
No, I got you.
It's a good, fun thing, but we'll do that coming up at 11 o'clock. We got to get in some football as well. Your calls on the other side talking Soto. 888-808-1019, BT and Sal and Fan.